Hey, it's Moss here. Welcome again to another video in the Clinic Success Academy. And this one, I can tell you right now, is one I'm probably going to refer to more people than anything else. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why speed to lead matters. More than almost any ad optimization you can run, and the 5-minute target that separates clinics who convert from clinics who leak. So let's get into it. So here's something worth understanding before we go any further. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Most clinics we work with don't have a marketing problem, they have a systems problem and a speed to lead problem. The leads are arriving, they're already on your phone within seconds. The question is whether someone picks up the phone and calls back within 5 minutes. How high of a priority is that? And in most clinics, the honest answer is no. That gap is where revenue disappears. Studies have shown that replying to somebody within 5 minutes is 100 times, 100. Not 50%, not 70%, not even 2x, not even 10x, 100x more likely to convert somebody than somebody who waits half an hour. If we think about the nature of Facebook ads, for example, we're generally getting somebody when they're doing something random. They could be in the grocery store or just going for a walk, killing some time, and they see an ad, they click on it, they forget about it. Again, this is the exact same with how we operate when we're trying to get, we're running ads to get clients. People will forget who you are. But if you catch them in the moment, it sub-communicates professionalism, and it also gets them while they're already considering what you have to offer. I mentioned as well, different lead sources will have different psychology, and that really matters. So for example, when someone types in aesthetic clinic near me or dental practice near me into Google, they're in active search mode. They're in pain, metaphorically and literally. They want something and they're primed. Facebook ads and Instagram ads are different. A paid social lead was scrolling through their phone, like I said, on a lunch break. They saw your ad, felt a flicker of curiosity, and filled in the form in about 20 seconds. And they probably went back to whatever they were doing and they forgot. And that flicker of curiosity is your window, and it is short. Now again, I've said the 100x stat, but I mean, I'll also throw in another one. This stat grounds all of it. Callbacks in 5 minutes convert at roughly 10x the rate of callbacks at 10 minutes. And again, let me know how fast you are, but I know most practices are waiting over 24 hours and they're wondering why their ads aren't performing. Same ad, same targeting, same creative, same offer, just the callback speed. So this is single-handedly the most important thing you can do in your business right now. If nothing else, doesn't matter what you are doing, a lead comes in, you drop everything and you call them right there and then. The tonality, the pacing, the frames, the cues, the objection handling, the scripts, all that, really important. But the callback speed is single-handedly the most important lever you can pull to grow your business today. And that is not being melodramatic or anything. That is data proven. There is no other lever that will be able to get you a 10 to 100x difference in your output than calling someone faster. And it's free. It's just a case of understanding how much of a priority it needs to be. So it's the single biggest conversion lever in the entire funnel. Here is why the mechanism works, and not just that it does work, if you're curious. When somebody fills in a lead form on an ad or a landing page, their intent is warm and their resistance is low. They raise their hand and they're curious. It's kind of like if you're on Amazon and you get an impulsive desire to order a bunch of stuff. People have psychological buying windows. If you saw an ad for that thing later, you're much less likely to buy it. But you want to get them while they're hot, basically. They said yes to something even if it was a small yes, and that mental state will last for a few minutes at the most. Ideally, you're literally calling within seconds, which is why we have automations and AI and things like that to text within seconds. But after that, real life will take over for the potential patient. Work, kids, the next Instagram reel, the curiosity will fade and the context and memory will fade. So when you call them an hour later, something uncomfortable has happened. They barely remember filling the form. They're going to feel off guard and they're going to feel confused and slightly suspicious. They've already half committed to a reason why this isn't a good time. A key sentence to remember is that speed kills deals. This is one of the biggest mistakes I've made in business. Speed kills deals. You want to maximize the revenue per customer, but you also want to compress the amount of time it takes to make decisions. Because at this point, you're not following up on someone who's thinking about you. You're interrupting someone who's moved on. And a 5-minute callback catches them while they're still in that room mentally. The intent hasn't cooled down, the curiosity is still fresh. They're going to pick up the phone and they're going to recognize exactly what this call is about. And they're going to be impressed by professionalism and that you're clearly running a serious operation. It will sub-communicate to them and convey them that you are somebody who takes things seriously, and that trust component that we've talked about in previous videos will be drastically higher. And the recognition is the difference between, oh great, I was hoping someone would call, to who is this and why are they calling me? One more thing worth naming. In higher ticket verticals, regenerative medicine, restorative dentistry, speed also carries an extra signal. A patient who's considering a $3,000 a pound or $5,000 a pound protocol and doesn't hear from you for 2 hours isn't just cold. They're questioning how organized your entire practice is and how professional it is. And your trust has gone out the window. Fast responsiveness says you are a priority. We're switched on. And that signal is worth more than any follow-up sequence. So not only will this improve your show-up rates and your close rates, but it'll also likely improve your lifetime value. So I want to make this concrete before this principle is, it's only useful when it's operational. So leads going to come in from a form, SMS, email, whatever it is, or patient flow, our software. Your front desk will get a notification on their phone or see it on the screen in front of them. They're going to put down whatever they're doing. They're going to pick up the phone on the app or call from the desktop, and they're going to call within 5 minutes. Not after finishing the current task, not after lunch, if possible, it depends on the dynamic, but within 5 minutes of that lead arriving. If you're filling out spreadsheets, if you're talking to someone, wrap that up as soon as you can, call them back ASAP. Even in the case when no one answers, the lead sees your missed call within minutes of submitting the form. And again, if you call a lead or a prospect or existing patient and they don't answer, make sure to text them back right away. Hey, Sarah, just gave you a quick call. Saw your name come through. Just gave you a quick call. When's a good time for a quick 10-minute chat? Immediately, that shows how professional you are, and the likelihood of getting them booked in is extremely high. So, as I said, lead comes in, you drop everything, you call them. If they don't answer, you text them, and then I would also call them again straight after, because there's a very high likelihood the reason they didn't answer the phone is because they didn't know who you were. So again, lead comes in, drop everything. They'll have received an automated text message. You call them, explain who you are, call them again, ask, and you will have asked what time suits best. And then you will work the leads again. But again, this conveys that these people are organized, they're expecting me. And again, aesthetics, dental, regenerative, chiro, I know I keep saying this, but the play is the same. The treatment names change, the mechanism won't. And lead's curiosity window is roughly 5 minutes at most, especially in this day and age where everyone's attention span is getting shorter, regardless of the procedure they inquired about. And the bottleneck in most clinics is not the system, it's just the habit. The leads are set up correctly, the notifications are there, but the front desk may not understand how high of a priority this is. By the time a lead arrives at a busy time, the default is going to be, I'll call them back in a minute. And that's where conversion rates drop from 10x to 100x down to very little. This principle is one of the clearest examples of what we mean when we say most clinics don't have a marketing problem, because you're probably paying for these leads already. They're landing in your inbox within seconds of somebody clicking your ad. The only thing standing between that lead and a book consultation and cash in the bank is whether someone picks up that phone inside the window. The predictable patient engine is designed so the answer is always yes. This is why we stress the importance of going through our training. Every lead gets a notification. Every notification gets a callback. Every callback happens within 5 minutes. We can double your booking rate today without doubling your ad spend by closing this single gap, not by changing your creative, not by increasing your ad spend, not by rebuilding your funnel, by answering the phone on time. It's free. And most likely 30 to 50% of the lead revenue sitting in your current lead volume is accessible right now. You've already paid for it. You just need to collect it. And it just needs to happen by picking up the phone within 5 minutes. So what we've covered today. Number one, the 5-minute callback beats almost every single optimization you can run in your entire business. Everything. Because passive intent leads go cold fast. Secondly, the mechanism is a curiosity window that closes within minutes. Think of the behavior of what happens when somebody clicks on an ad. The majority of times when someone says, oh, none of our leads converted, oh, the leads are really bad, the first thing we're going to ask is how fast are they being called? Ultimately, it is the first impression of the entire business. You can't beat that because people want a consistent experience. And yeah, like I said, if a callback at 10 minutes is not slightly worse, it's not slightly worse. It's actually 10 times worse. Thirdly, the system you need is the one where your front desk gets notified within seconds of a lead arriving. They make the call within 5 minutes. They text if they don't answer. They call back again every time, and they'll work the leads again after that. Here's the simplest thing you can do for your clinic today. I want you to pull up the last 10 leads that came in. For everyone, or even just ask us to find this, find the actual time between lead arrival and first callback attempt. And again, we can do this for you, assuming you're calling within patient flow. Write down the number of minutes. And if your average is over 10 minutes, that's your biggest opportunity this week. And it'll cost you nothing to fix other than the decision to prioritize and fix it. Again, a way to practice this is pick 1 hour tomorrow morning. Every lead that comes in during that hour gets called within 5 minutes. Or let's just say tomorrow in general, no exceptions. Track your show rate for those leads against your normal average, and I can guarantee there'll be a huge difference. So just one day, tomorrow, one rule, and you'll see the data for your own clinic, and you won't want to go back. I'll see you in the next video.